I'm opening up a file from After Effects called mask path 1 add subtract, and just watch what I'm going to do here. I'm scrubbing the timeline. I already have some animation. You guys can see this Looney Tunes picture, and if inside my composition window, I've got 2 layers. The top layer is a black solid. The bottom layer is the JPEG. The black solid layer, if I select it and hit the letter U, the letter U is one of your most useful keyboard commands in After Effects, because when you hit the letter U, it will automatically show you any attributes that are keyframed. Okay, let me show you what happens if I just expand the whole layer and show all the attributes. It takes up a lot of screen space. Check it out. Look, there's masks, there's transform attributes. Especially if you're on a laptop, you're not going to have the room to have everything showing at once. Okay, and oftentimes you guys will be working together as a team. Someone might start an animation in After Effects and then get sick, or you get hit with another project and then someone else has to finish your project. So when you open up someone else's After Effects project, you might be like, okay, I want to find out what Heather was doing. Let's see what animation there is. And you hit the letter U, and that just shows you anything that's been keyframed. Okay. Even if you're just working by yourself, I use that all the time. You can see that I've got 2 keyframes here, and it just so happens that it's in sync with this mask getting smaller and smaller. But one thing that I do as a teacher is I create these scenarios where everything's already set up and you guys just have to solve a problem. What is the problem that you have to solve here? Someone just try to summarize what the problem is.
Masking the Looney Tunes to be within the circle.
Okay, you're right. Sin, you're right. I understand what you're saying, but can someone else, or Sin, can you rephrase that in a more technical way?
Revealing and unrevealing the image.
Okay, good. I'm looking for a word that starts with the letter I. What word am I looking for? What do we want to do to? Yes, inverse or invert. Okay, that's huge. That's huge in computer graphics. How often do you just want to flip blacks and whites, or invert your colors from like blue to orange or yellow? I don't even know my colors, but okay, how often do you want to invert your selection? That's huge. Look at the name of the file that I opened. It's called mask path add subtract. So what I'm trying to show you guys here is that you could just click inverted, but there's a drop-down menu here, and you can also just change the mask from add to subtract. And that's the way that After Effects has named their masks. If you use an add mask will isolate whatever's inside of the path. A subtract mask is the inverse of that. Okay, so I think that's really important to clarify that right off the bat. And all you have to do in this exercise is just switch from add to subtract, and then when you hit the space bar, this is like, this is how all those Looney Tunes cartoons end. Okay, in this exercise, look what's going on here. There's no animation at all, so you're going to have to animate this mask either going from big to small or small to big or whatever you think is right. Okay, you're going to have to make some decisions here. So in my opinion, this is the first real exercise where you're going to have to use your brain. If you don't feel like using your brain, that's totally okay. You will still learn if you just follow along with what I do, but please just watch me do it first, okay? I'm gonna select this black solid and hit the letter M. M will show you any masks. Hit the letter M. There's a mask right there, but if you look closely, that stopwatch is not blue. It hasn't been activated. All right, so I'm going to activate it. Now, my brain isn't really working right now, so as fresh as I want it to be. So I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna go about trying to figure out how to make this look right. Instead of worrying about the animation, let me just make sure that the beginning of this frame looks correct. This does not look correct right now. This is not how it should look. Let me switch this to subtract. Okay, that looks closer to what it should look like, but that's how it should look down the line. Okay, maybe I'll slide this keyframe down and look at how I'm being methodical with the way I solve this problem. Okay, as an animator, you are usually under a lot of stress, and you know, your boss is working your ass off, and your boss's boss is like coming down on hard on the deadlines. So this is pretty common for me to always be tired and having to figure things out. And my suggestion, and I'll mention this again later when we have to solve harder problems, is you got to look at what is correct. So instead of saying, oh my God, this doesn't look right, be like, you know what, this is like 10% finished. So you stay kind of positive with it. Okay. So look, if this hole has closed in on Porky Pig down the line, that's like 10% finished. Now I'm going to chip away at this project. And that's how you get stuff done in animation, or even just graphic design projects. You got to chip away at it little by little until the client only, you know, all the problems are so small that they don't care about those issues. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I need to show the whole entire region. So watch, I'm going to drag a box and select all 4 of these mask points. In Photoshop, what's the keyboard command to free transform or scale or rotate or reposition? What's the keyboard command to free transform?
Command T.
Okay, you guys already knew that. Command T. Boom. It works here for masks as well. I got that bounding box. Now I'm going to just, make this way bigger. Let me zoom out a little bit. And I'm just making it huge. Guys, I don't care about the fine details right now. I'm just going to roughly try to get what I think is right, because that's how you got to work, is just do a rough draft. When you're done free transforming in Photoshop, what do you do to confirm that you're done? What do you do to tell Photoshop you're done?
Enter, return, or escape.
Yeah, enter or double click inside, okay? Same thing works here. Now, look, I've set my second keyframe. Boom. It's almost done. It's almost done, but it paused here, okay? This is where like the sound effect comes in, like he goes like bitty 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 bitty. That's all, folks, which I should have included in here, but I didn't. Okay, so there's that keyframe. You guys can't really tell, you might be able to tell, but all 4 of these mask points are filled in with yellow. They're filled in. That means they're selected. So I can hit Command T again, and I'm gonna shrink it all the way down till it's like really, really small, down to 1 pixel. I can zoom in even further to make sure that it's completely scaled down. I mean, this is redundant. It's already so small. Now that I'm done, I hit return, or I can't really double click inside the box because it's so small. And now I've successfully animated this mask. Oh, still got to shrink my work area. So after my last keyframe, I want a little bit of playback so I can appreciate that black screen a little bit, but I don't want to play back for too long, so I hit the letter N. And now my work area has been shrunken down, has been minimized. And I call my boss over, hey, check it out, I'm done. Okay, now I go on to the next project.